Have you ever looked up at the night sky and stared in amazement at the mind-boggling complexity of this limitless universe that we live in? Millions of galaxies, billions of stars. Makes you think, doesn't it? Which is, of course, something you're very good at, because sitting on your shoulders right now is the most complicated object in the known universe. I'm talking, of course, about your brain. Even though it weighs only about 3 pounds, it nonetheless contains an astonishing 100,000 miles of blood vessels, enough to cross the United States 33 times. And in that brain of yours, there are over 86 billion neurons, sending signals to one another at the speed of a bullet train. And the 70,000 thoughts that your brain has each day uses enough energy to power a light bulb. The human brain is truly limitless. When it works well, it's a miracle of creativity and potential. Except that sometimes it goes wrong. So it's a good thing that here at Weizmann, some of the biggest brains on this very small planet are working tirelessly to find answers to the causes of many of the diseases of the brain. Their research is at the technological cutting edge of neuroscience, and through their curiosity, we are gaining an ever greater understanding of what's really going on between our ears.
Recently, there was some headlines warning the world that in their view, artificial intelligence was the greatest danger for humanity. That could not be further from the truth. We're nowhere near a level of understanding that will allow us to generate a device that would be close to emulating brain function in a way that would provide risk.
You could liken our current state of understanding of the brain to perhaps the state that Columbus was at when he set sail.
On one hand, we really know a lot. On the other hand, it is so complex that we're nowhere near solving it.
We can transplant heart, kidney, lungs. We will never be able to transplant brain.
This is the last frontier. This is probably the organ we know the least about.
It controls everything, it controls our life, it controls our health.
It's the most complicated computer that exists.
What we're trying to understand is really what it means to be human, what it means to think, what it means to remember, to have a memory, what it means to forget.
We know that the language of the brain is that of the joint activity patterns of millions of neurons working together. We're looking for the Rosetta Stone of the language of the brain.
Without understanding that, we'll find it very difficult to understand what's really going wrong in a brain that doesn't function well in terms of cognition.
So if we think about autism,
Schizophrenia,
Lou Gehrig,
Depression, anxiety,
Alzheimer's disease.
these are diseases which involve social functions, cognitive functions, emotional functions, and the set of regions in the brain which control these functions are the regions that we're interested in.
We are getting closer to understanding how different computations occur in different brain regions and under different behavioral scenarios. And so my question would be, is there one or few governing principles that are disrupted and therefore leads to anxiety disorders or post-trauma?
We are studying how information is encoded in a very complex biological system, because we can now visualize neuronal activity in large scale. We are investing much of our time in finding new ways to analyze this beautiful data.
At the end of the day, the mechanisms we study are the mechanisms that allow you to understand what I'm saying now. In this way, we're trying to really understand the essence of existence.
With these new technologies and the concerning rise in neurodegeneration and psychiatric illness, now is the time to drive this research forward. And so we've established the new Israeli Institute for Brain and Neural Sciences. But we are only touching the tip of the iceberg. Partner with us to solve one of the biggest challenges facing science today, to unravel the mysteries of the brain.